Hello everyone, I'm Vi. I'm e-commerce marketing expert at Omnisend, and today we're going to talk about the essential automations and essential segments going into the new year. And January is traditionally quite a quiet month for most of the e-commerce businesses. So take this opportunity to set up the missing automations, improve your segmentation, and get ready for the year ahead. To help us with that, we have Mangitas, who is our Senior Customer Success Manager. And Mangitas, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I hope you will learn something new or maybe find out something new. I'll try my best. And thanks for joining again.
Fantastic. A couple of things to know. This session is being recorded. You will receive the recording in a couple of days. We will also include the slides and any of the resources shared. So Mangitas, the stage is yours.
So, hi everyone again. For today, we have a very short agenda, even though the slides are not going to be so short. So we are going to go through marketing automation basics, segments, and also combined power of segments and automations. So just a spoiler, I'll want you to have your Omnisend account open at the end of this webinar because we're going to do some practical exercise. It's going to be a short one, but I hope it will be helpful for you to understand and create automation with specific segment. So stay tuned also for the giveaway as well. And let's start with marketing automation basics. So what does marketing automation basics consist from? So it's trigger, messages, and actions. And this is the whole automation setup. It sounds not too difficult because it is not too difficult. And you always start with the trigger. Trigger could be something very simple. Customer adds product to the cart. Customers enter the segment, they fill out a form. So we have to have a trigger first. Once you have the trigger, you have to have some sort of action. An action can be, for example, wait for 10 minutes, wait for an hour. You can split the audience into A and B path. Also, then you can send a message. I always recommend introducing action because you don't want to attack the customer so early. You have to have some delay. If it's welcome automation in particular, don't send it to quickly, but also don't wait too long. Usually 5 minutes is a golden amount of time for them to wait. So also you can include action 2 and message 2. So what does this mean? You can also include additional delay after the first message. Obviously, you don't want to send consecutive messages without any delay. Give them some time to breathe. Let them think about the offer that you're sending, or maybe introduction about your brand. It really depends on the automation that you're building. And then send a follow-up message. The message could be not only email, but also SMS or push notification. Keep that in mind. Your options are endless and open. So for the bonus tip right here, choose from our automations that we have set up already. It's going to help you a lot if you don't have an idea what you want to start with. So we have multiple different automations ready. I'll go through the most important ones that you can use from our templates. And let's start with the trigger. Let's start with automation basics still. Trigger is what starts the automation flow. So as you can see, it's very simple to set up. On the left side, you'll see what the trigger is. You have to select it from the dropdown. And also keep in mind that there's exit conditions. You have to add those, in particular, if you set up the flows that have a specific action, just like added product to the cart or started the checkout. So if customer added product to the cart, like in the screenshot right here, you definitely want to have some exit conditions so they would exit the flow in case they purchase the product or started the checkout. You don't want to spam customers with multiple emails. You definitely do not want to spam with that specific product they just purchased. So keep in mind that exit conditions will be your safeguard in this case. Then messages. Messages can be different in terms of SMS, emails, and push notifications. On the left side, you'll see that also we have webhooks. It's a little bit advanced, but it's a technical solution for you to have more opportunities to update something or connect to specific apps, for example, WhatsApp. So if you'll have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to our support team. But I would recommend to start with email, SMS, and push notifications at first. These are the easiest ones to use. And also, obviously, SMS is something I feel like it's underappreciated and underused. Feel free to try it. We have really great and simple guides how to start with it. And you only need to enter the text. Most of the work will do it for you, just like Omnisend does for everything. And for the actions, just like I mentioned, you can add the delay, and delay is what it tells. It's a delay. It's a time period until message should be sent or action to be performed. So as you can see in the left side, there are some flow actions, which is delay. You can also tag contact if you want. If they enter a certain flow, like welcome, you can tag new subscribers. And I'll tell you why it's important as well to tag. One of my favorites is the split functionality. Split functionality allows you to, as you can see in the third screenshot, customers who leave, for example, rating in your reviews that's more than 3, you're sending one type of email. If it's below 3, you're asking them, hey, what's wrong with the product? Maybe asking to figure out what could be helpful for you. Also, you can do A/B tests as well. So just forking the setup. So chain of messages could be that you're changing the subject line, you're changing the way, for example, you have 3 messages on A, you have 3 messages on B, and you just change the sequence. You're sending the discount code in the first email on the A path, and on the B path, you're sending the discount code at the very end. Spoiler alert, sending the discount code during the first email makes a difference. And I encourage you to try sending the discount code earlier. And obviously, as you can see, tagging the contact can be helpful in a way that you can segment the customers. When you have new customers coming in through the welcoming flow, it makes sense because you can stop sending manual campaigns to them, so you do not annoy the customer that much. You don't want to overwhelm them. It definitely makes sense, and I'll tell you more about tagging later on. But we can review the whole customer journey. Before the purchase, you have to lead them to the purchase. Also bring back leads to the funnel, which means abandon cart, abandon checkout, and address any purchase objections. And after the purchase, you have to nurture relationships, encourage and repeat the purchases, and upsell and cross-sell. So we have to think about both before and after to have the perfect conditions for them to buy and be a long-time customers. So not only engagement, but also retention. And how to do it, I'll use one of my favorite TV shows to explain. As you can see, it's Sopranos. Hope that most of you saw it. So if you saw it, great. If you didn't, sorry for the reference. I'll try to explain my best. But there are codes. Who gets respect? Who gets what happens when someone crosses the line? So automations are essentially the same vibe. Once the rules are set, the system keeps the family and business moving. So just like your business. And email automations are just like Sopranos businesses. You set the rules, you segment the crew, you trigger the right move at the right moment. So, and keep the family, which is your customers, coming back. New recruit shows up, they get new role, which means new subscriber joins, they enter the welcome series, and someone disrespects the boss, there's a consequence. So at the same time, customer goes your cart, they leave it, they get abandoned cart sequence. you have to have these relations in your head, which will help you out on creating these automations. But both are basically just rituals to keep the machine working without Tony, in this particular case, to personally call anyone. So think about automations as the main boss that runs everything and automates everything. So he doesn't need to do anything. And we can talk automations in depth. So welcome series, you can include 3 different types. Warmest of welcomes, for example, a quick Q&A. These are examples what you can use in your welcome flow. You can use the FOMO, like in the 3rd screenshot, so last chance to redeem your exclusive offer. A quick Q&A, so more leaning to information about your brand and products in general, and also exclusive discount, which doesn't say a lot, so leaves some room for interpretation, saying more mysterious. I included these 3 just because you can test out all of these and let me know what the results you're receiving. Keep in mind, and as I mentioned, it's a little bit overlooked, SMS in particular are so good and even better compared to the email in the welcome flows. So based on our metrics, these SMS actually generates 3 to 6 times better click rates. And click rates is all that matters. Yes, open rates are important, but click rates at the end of the day is what makes the customers engaged. And we base everything on that mostly. So top performers at Omnisend are using and taking advantage of SMS, and bold welcome messages are helpful in this way. So you can see welcome to X brand, which is your brand, and protect your devices with style, quick discount code. And it's that easy. And some metrics for you, in particular, that 96% of young adults ages 18 to 29, they own smartphones, and smartphones actually are dominating the web traffic, almost reaching 50%, which really, really makes sense for you to utilize this channel. And for the welcome series, another pro tip from my side is to skip the new subscribers. New subscribers are already getting their welcome flow, so you want to leave them for the first 7 days out of your regular email sends. It doesn't make sense to bombard them, and this is the segment that you can use. You'll get the recording later, so I'm going to skip to the next slide, but the idea is there. And we can jump into more engaging flows, which are abandonment flows. So this is the store visitor path to the first order, which you already know. But let's quickly reveal all 5 steps, which is they subscribe, they view the product, they add product to the cart, they start checkout, and then they place order, hopefully. And that's how you orchestrate the entire flow and base everything on that. Going to the next slide, you'll see that we have a very hidden gem, which is usually overlooked, just like SMS channel, product abandonment flow. We really focus a lot of our focus on the abandonment cart, abandonment of the checkout, but there's MVP, which is product abandonment. And it's less popular, and it doesn't interfere with other abandoned flows, just because it works in a way that you check your, let me show you actually the trigger. The store visitor actually browses the product, and then they leave your website without adding the item to the cart. So we have exit conditions, add the product to cart, start the checkout, and place the order. So it doesn't interfere with any of the other flows. You can be assured that you're not going to spam the users. And you're going to cover all the bases, which is really, really important because you want to do all the best in all possible scenarios that all of the customers will receive at least one message. And that's usually what drives the sales. And as you can see, subscribe to marketing, view product, and the ones that you have to exclude are in the red. And pro tip 1 is also using personalization. I had my fair share of webinars that I've included personalizations before. It definitely works. We do have many different information types in this one. As you can see in the screenshot, you can include product title. If you know what product was abandoned, you can definitely include that, but also you can keep it very simple. For example, including the first name of the customer, using your account name, which is your company's name, using the city or country as well in the text, not only subject line. It can be really, really helpful. But in the product abandonment flow, personalization for that particular product can and definitely works. If we go to the next pro tip, you can send push notification before the end the browsing session, which is also really helpful because they're on the website still and they're going to receive the notification. So if you're considering giving any discounts instead of generic 10%, for example, you could say, oh my God, you're so lucky. This product is just on sale. And having that FOMO trigger for the customer right when they're still on the website. It's really important not to give them time to think about it. You have to work on that emotion. And if they viewed a certain product, you have to capitalize on that. And the second flow.
I'll just wanted to jump in. If you go one slide back to the push notification, I wanted to bring everyone's attention to the sales metric that you can see. It's almost 70 grand from this push notification. So if you're doubting whether you should even try this, I think that's a valid proof to do it.
Yeah, definitely. You have to try it out to understand if it works. As you can see, for one of our customers, it definitely works. And I can surely confirm that for others, it works as well. I had my fair share of automations with push notifications in different flows and actually standalone campaigns for pushes. It's an underused channel. You have to use it wisely. Don't overuse it, but definitely in some of the automations, it definitely works. But thanks, Wyva, as well, for noticing that. And for abandoned cart flow, the trigger is obviously when the product is added to the cart, but product stays in the cart, customer doesn't see on your website. In the red, I have the exit conditions that you have to add, but these are automatically added by Omnisend if you create the flow through the default flows that we have currently. So you don't have to think about it. Yeah, and it's one of the flows where you can use the split section, which is my favorite. And you can split, for example, the card size. And it allows you a lot more relevant, tailored message in a very simple, elegant way used by top performing brands. Brands, I meant customers. So if the customer adds products that contain above 59 currency, card total, and the currency, it doesn't matter. It's going to pick up the one that you have on your store. So if they are eligible, you're sending the free shipping. And for the ones that are not eligible, you are sending, hey, add a specific product that will allow you to gain free shipping. As you probably already know, free shipping definitely is even more helpful sometimes than the discount itself, because people have that perception that I will add $20 worth of product more rather than paying $5 for the free shipping. So it ends up in your favor. So feel free to consider that idea, even if you do not offer the free shipping right now. And there's the abandoned checkout flow, which will be the last step before a customer purchases anything. And in red, you can see that place order is the one that you have to exclude in terms of exit conditions. How can you help to move on the customer with the flow? And what can they learn at the checkout that scares them off? For example, maybe it's a good place to tell the customer you have friendly return policy. So yeah, don't overthink it. Done is better than perfect. Just add one of these ideas and start with simple messages. Start with the ones that we currently have in the automations, let them earn you revenue, and you'll be able to improve from that point in time, just because you'll understand what works and what doesn't. Just keep on testing, keep on adding new stuff from time to time. And obviously you can set up brand assets in your Omnisend account, so it's going to save you some time in building the automations. And yeah, after the purchase, getting back to Sopranos, you'll see that your ducklings, your customers will get used to you. You're going to make sure that your retention stays up and they're coming back. So it's really the benefit that you can get from the automations that are coming from Omnisend. And one additional things from automations is the order follow-ups. And this is definitely overlooked. I think that it's not used that often. You can send a thank you message for the customer for purchasing the product. Many businesses don't really optimize the repeat purchases. So thank you, we're packing your goods. How was your shopping experience? Just after possible order delivery, also taking care tips. So if you have estimate time of delivery, like 7 or 14 days, use that delay option and send the customer's email. Are you happy with the product? This way, you'll gather some more information if they're happy, if they're unhappy, how are they liking the purchase. So collecting the feedback is an important thing. And also, as you can see, the tips, how to take care of the purchased product. So, or check more items, for example, take a discount, make it worth their time with your brand. Another automation, which is definitely underused, and I would like all of you today to create this one as well, is cross-sell automation. So you have to identify a certain product or collection that you have that complements with the certain purchase. So what you can do as a trigger, you can set up customer ordered from this particular collection, and use the product recommender, as you can see in the screenshot, which products you want to recommend. We have the very, very good option, products similar to past purchases or products similar to bestsellers. You can include particular products. It can really help. And setting up a cross-sell automation to be sent, it really depends on the product that you're selling. It might be 7 to 30 days. It might be half a year, but you have to remind, if you're selling supplements, for example, you can set up each 7, 30 days, like 2 weeks, a year even. You have to cover all the bases so you don't have to do any manual work. And if you can come up with a specific products that you want to show, as I mentioned, use a product recommender. We'll do the job for you. And also cross-sell logic example right here. You can combine the specific category in this example that I have right here. The trigger is when customer ordered a product from the ladies' bikinis, you're also showing them from product recommendations that you can choose from ladies' overswims. So you can have a complete set of the product, so they're not missing anything, and also including the products that are important for the customer. Just think about what would benefit the purchase, what can help you. X with I paired. Also, bundling the product is also something that you can explore. Not exactly an Omnisend, but can be really, really helpful with your business. So for example, buy 2, get extra 1 free. It's really incentivizing these things. And there's one more automation that you have to keep in mind, which is replenishment reminder flow. And once again, most of the businesses don't really optimize the repeat purchases. They're only focusing on welcome automation, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, and leaves the automations because sometimes it feels like it's too difficult. And you have to think if the product can be reordered again. So not only cross-selling, but selling the same product after the certain time. If you're selling food products, you have a expiry date, or you have a certain idea how long does it take for the customer to use that product, to eat that product. Set up a flow that will have a certain delay at a very easy split or action, which would be the delay, and include our past customers as well. So you can use trigger retrospectively setting in the automation, as you can see in the small screenshot, which will let you include all the customers that purchase the product that you've set in the automation before the automation was created. So keep in mind that settings in the automations have to be explored as well. And moving further, there's more flows. Reactivate lapsed customers. This one I really love because, as you can see, you're re-engaging with your customers that have been purchasing from your site. That's why they call them lapsed customers. And you have to identify the customers. So those who haven't purchased for a certain time, but they have purchased some time ago. So they have some incentive. They are interested in your brand, and using the customer reactivation automation to re-engage these customers. No need to manually set up the campaigns. It's going to do the job for you. Every time customer enters that segment, you can set up the automation. It's going to send, and you can forget about it. So make them an offer they can't refuse. This is a line from The Godfather, not from Sopranos, but I think it still fits. So we can go back to The Sopranos. I hope you're still interested in that. So you can consider Tony the main guy as your segmentation logic. So the boss, his job is to decide who's loyal, who's drifting away, who needs a reward, who needs some pressure from your side. That's essentially the segmentation part that you're using on your end as well, or you have to use it from today. Automations really depends on Tony's brain. That sorts people in the real time. So for example, that would be high value regulars. So they do get a VIP treatment. So it's your inner circle. New or uncertain people. So these are warming up and trust building. So the helpful associates that you just recruited to your clan, or people are showing risky behavior. So you have to watch them closely if they are not drifting away from your side. So these are usually contacted to re-engagement flows. And we can talk about data sources in segmentation and what can you use if you are lacking the ideas. So subscription data. So for this one, we will take email, SMS, web push is subscribed, non-subscribed, or unsubscribed. So essentially the status. Behavioral data can be used as well. So opens, clicks, view page, added to the cart. The ones are showing the engagement of the customer. Also the transactional data, so any purchases, cancellations of the orders, or any purchases at all, ever. And demographic preference data, which would lead to the state, country, or wherever you're living. Also custom properties that you can think of that you are collecting through the subscription form or sending to Omnisend through API. So these are the ones that you can use and lead the customer to the journey. So first will be the subscribe to marketing. I showed this slide, but I'm showing it again because you have to think how the customer gets from the start A, the point A, to the point B, which is the purchase. And you have to go through the subscription, so showing the form, they view the product, they add the product to the cart, they start the checkout, and they place an order. At every given step, you can use the automation. Subscribe to marketing, it's a welcome flow. View the product, product abandonments. Add it to the cart, product, abandoned product. Started the checkout, abandoned checkout, and place the order follow-up, cross-sell, or any other flow. So keep in mind that you have to think about, when talking about the segmentation, you need to understand your customer's journey. If it's any different, if your product allows it to be different, you have to think about the structure. So segmentation should always align with your customer journey. And I'm going to show the key segments that you can use and engage 30, 60, 90. This is the regular ones that we use. And what does that mean? You're identifying the recent opens or clickers. Keep in mind that you can use different days. I would recommend using all of these, 30, 60, 90. So for this one, as an example, use customers who have opened in the last 30 days at least one email and clicked at least one email. You can use more engagement if you want. At least open 2, 3. It depends on how many emails you're sending, so it has to relate on that. Also, you're hyper engaged, so your VIPs, your inner circle. You can target most active subscribers. This one can be targeted by our certain segments that we have already created for you. You don't need to do anything additionally. Just look at our rules and select most active subscribers. Non-purchasers. Also, you can convert these browsers or upsell buyers, enter them into certain flows. Keep in mind that this is not only related to automations, but you can use those in your regular campaign sending. And it's definitely recommended because segmentation helps you with deliverability and reaching your audience at all times. High LTV. So reward VIPs and increase the LTV as well. Unengaged subs, which means that you'll have to clean the list. And I'm going to give you a spoiler. We're going to create a very similar flow at the end of the meeting webinar as well. And the lapsed customers, we talked about this one. You have to reactivate your customers that have been purchasing. So there's, as you can see, recent purchases as well. Exclude the recent purchases from the email sending or from automations. There's so many ways, so many different ways for you to use the segmentation, or not only to target them, but also exclude them. So you're not exhausting your list from sending like 2-3 times per day or 2-3 times per week. The importance, as I mentioned, the higher engagement, the better your deliverability is. This helps your business to send targeted messages, achieve better engagement, loyalty, retention, and it just works. Omnisend segmentation solution is really helping you improving with the new filters that we add, the data points that allow you to optimize your marketing effort, which means less unsubscribes, which means more personalized experiences and higher ROI, which is the most important things for all of the brands. So it's a win-win situation. You have to dedicate some time. It's not going to be a long time, but 5 minutes, 10 minutes every week for segmentation will help you go a long way. And I'm going to show you how the flows are looking. So engage 30, 60, 90. As you can see in the screenshot right here, the most important things are have opened at least 3 times and have clicked on the message at least 1 time in the last 60 days. You can change to 30, 60, 90. You can create a copy. Just think what's the best threshold for my business. It varies. That's why I don't want to cling on certain number right here. You have to know from your site or test out. So how to do it? I've lumped everyone lumped all 3690 into one, but remember, you need to keep your audience and product in mind, as I mentioned. Make sure you define your channel right here. Include subscription status, include open or clicked, define the message channel. So if they opened email, if they opened SMS, and also you can exclude Apple privacy opens. So it's excluding additional openers. Apple privacy opens rely on clicks instead. So when you have to do it, when 80% of the time when sending campaigns, I recommend using that. It will help with deliverability. And just why? Maintaining good deliverability will mean that your reputation will remain high, no emails will land in spam, which means that higher revenue per email sent. And you'll know that customers are actually opening and clicking your emails. So hyper-engage as well. Hyper-engage is the one that I just showed, 30, 60, 90, but on steroids. Let's call it that. How to do it? It's opens and clicks, but at a higher frequency in a shorter period of time. So really the ones that are interested in all of the information that you're sending. And what's important with these and when you can use it, when you're doing A/B tests. Because you know they are engaging, and if you're doing some changes in the subject line, in the content that you're sending, and you do not see engagement from them, it definitely means you should stop doing that. Or if it increases, makes sense to apply that for your all customers that are left in other segments. So great to use in low engaging seasons, which should be summer. Summer is still long time to go to, but keep that in mind. You'll have the slides and hopefully you'll remember by that time. And why? It definitely helps boost deliverability. It's simple as that. And purchasers and non-purchasers right here, it's very simple. Place an order at least one time in the last 6 months. How to do it? Transactional place order filter. So you'll see that from the filter dropdown, and when to use it in the post-purchaser workflows. Replenishment reminders, cross sales as well, and splits in the automations. So if customer have never purchased, you can split the audience into non-purchasers, purchasers, and offer a better or bigger discount for the ones that haven't purchased yet. Try to pique their interest, change the subject line as well, drive that FOMO as well. And why? Just to increase their LTV. And non-purchasers need to build that trust with your brand and know that they are important to you. High LTV, yeah, I didn't explain what LTV means, hoping that you know, but if you don't, it's a lifetime value. And if they have spent more than 300 certain currency with your brand, these are the high value customers for you. And or you can use the product placed order at least 3 times in total. So they have repeated the purchases from time to time. And going back, because I didn't include a side, you can reward these customers. Certain occasions, Christmas, Black Friday, you know that they are going to purchase, and they're going to purchase for a bigger amount. Likely offer them a better ways to for example, bigger discount or maybe free shipping. If something that you're not offering for everyone, consider these are your VIP customers. And unengaged subscribers. So these are the ones that you definitely do not want to contact that often. And as you can see, subscription status is subscribed. You're still targeting the subscribers, but the ones that have messages sent at least 15 times right here, but they haven't opened at least 3 times and haven't clicked at least 1 message. What it means, we're sending to them, they do not care. You have to exclude these or send them one last time before we go. And the lapsed customers. So this is very important for testing, and the customers that have placed order at least 1 time and have not placed an order in the last 6 months. The time frame will differ, as I mentioned, but keep in mind, this is where you want the win-back automation series and test different reactivation offers. 20% off, 30% off, free shipping. These are the ones that are forgotten by you. And they might drift away and never purchase again unless you try to win back 1 more time before they go as well. So it's the retention one. in a nutshell. Yeah. So also recent purchasers, if you want to target the ones that have placed an order in the last 7, 14, 30 days, you can add a certain segment, which is only this one, have placed an order one time in the last 14 days. This is important for the post-purchase flows that you can create, so care tips, frequently asked questions, and also shipping information. But most importantly, exclude these from your campaigns. Do not forget that. And right now, let's put everything together. So this is going to be the action time. We have some time left, and it's not going to take a lot of time. I hope you have your Omnisend account ready. So put your new or refreshed knowledge into practical knowledge. And I certainly chose this one automation in particular, just because I know it's not widely used. So we're going to create one segment and use that one segment in one automation right now. You don't have to set it live, but you'll have the skeleton that you can adjust after this webinar, and also contact our support team in case you'll have some questions. So I have a short video that I'm going to show. Let me play it. So right here, we have the segments. Go to the segment section in the audience and click Create Segment. We'll need a new segment. Once you're there, you'll see all of these options that you can choose from. What we're going to do, we're going to use the pre-built segment that we already have, which is called Inactive Contacts. We're going to target inactive contacts and select those. You'll have all the rules ready right here, which will be subscribed to email. They are subscribed. They have been added to your list more than 3 months ago, so these are not new customers. And you've sent some messages to them. They haven't opened a certain amount. Keep in mind, these rules are just the default ones. Please make sure to change the ones for message sent and opens and clicked messages based on the frequency that you're sending. It's really important because sometimes you'll find that there are no inactive contacts, and there surely is. I can guarantee that. Once you define the rules, change these, and then what you can do, you can scroll down and click Save and Show Contacts. Just click Save as Inactive Contacts, and it's going to generate a segment for you. Right now, you'll see 0 contacts because in my ideal world, in my ideal account, I do not have any inactive contacts, but you'll see some names popping up in a minute or two. And then we'll have to go to Automations on the left menu and click the one that says Create Workflow. Once you have Create Workflow, you'll see once again the ones that you can choose from. But right now, we'll do something different. We're going to let you build your knowledge when creating from scratch and getting you accustomed to creating automations by yourself, not only through our templates. So please click Create from Scratch. And if I'm going too fast, keep in mind that you'll have the recording. You'll have our support team to help you out as well. Click Create from Scratch once more. And you'll see the automation options, which is overwhelming at first. Don't be afraid. You have, as I mentioned, first you have to define the trigger. And our trigger would be when customer enters a segment that we have just created, which is the inactive customers. You'll see that you can edit the trigger on the right. Please choose the event, which will be entered segment. And then the segment will be inactive contacts. I have many different inactive contacts. You'll have only one. Select the one that will pop up on your end. And keep in mind that you'll see the checkbox right here. So trigger workflow for contacts in the segment means that you're going to send the automation emails for customers that are already in the segment. It's really important because you're reaching to the audience which is already inactive. So you have to mark this checkbox. It doesn't have to be marked for other flows in particular because you have to think if it's useful. In this particular case, it definitely is. Just don't set the automation live before you put the flow all together. So please use the checkbox and then click save. What else do you need to do? You have to think about the message that you want to add. And the message will be either email, SMS, push notification, or webhooks if you're daring. I would start with email and SMS in this particular sense, but you only need one in this case. So what you need to do, you have to drag the email and you have to create the email. I'm not going to go through entire steps. You know how to create the email, the subject line, pre-header. You can use the templates that you have saved already in the Omnisend. And just once you're ready, click save and close. And that's it. You'll have your inactive contacts automation. So whenever customer is considered inactive, you will reach out to these customers offering a certain discount, or as I mentioned last time before you go, what definitely makes sense if you want to go more in depth, I would recommend adding exit conditions if they place an order, for example. But if you have the rule in the segment itself that they have placed an order in the last X months, they will automatically exit. So once you send to this particular flow after a week, you can go back, and if they are still in the segment, you can simply unsubscribe these customers, which is really important just because you're going to save you some money in the long run, but also you're going to boost your deliverability. You're not going to send to these customers that are not opening or engaging with your emails. So for the summary, let's go back to automation checklists, which ones that I recommend to start with, which will be welcome flow, abandoned products, all of the flows right here. Thank you flow after customer purchases something or orders a product, and obviously upsell and cross-sell flow. Just do one thing at a time. Don't overthink. You don't have to create a perfect flow. Just add one email at the start and let it go live. Once you'll see that it's going to bring you some revenue, you'll have more motivation to build a further emails, but test it out, see how it works. Don't be afraid. For the segments, I also recommend focusing on the key segments that I have covered, and always keep in mind that the more engaged the segment is, the better is your deliverability and a better ROI. And keep in mind that all of the segments that we have talked about are dynamic. So if customer, whenever they are not considered high lifetime value or highly engaged, they're going to exit that segment. And it's really good because you don't have to overthink. If you want something static, you can create a segment and add a tag to these customers. So you'll have a segment based on the tag, and that would be static. But most of these are dynamic, and it's the way it's designed and helpful. So for segment checklist, you'll see that engage 30, 60, 90, hyper engage, non-purchasers, high LTV. I know that it sounds maybe a little bit overwhelming, especially if you didn't use any of these before. Trust me, I worked with many different brands, more than 100 in the past year. All of the successful brands are using segmentation and targeting through automations and campaigns. And it works really, really, really well because the ones that are being targeted, the ones are engaging. They like the content more. It's more targeted to them. It's more personalized. We definitely all like to be included in particular groups that we feel like we deserve to be in these groups. So make sure to use the segments as well, even not in automations, but campaigns. And I think if we have some questions, we can cover those of why.
Thank you so much, Margulis. That was so well mapped out. If you would go back to the slide with the automation checklist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think when it comes to automations, keeping in mind you're also sending campaigns, one of the
Mm-hmm.
most common questions and concerns that people have is how do I not spam my customers? So if I implement everything, won't they get all the emails and be spammed and then unsubscribed? So how should we approach that and how do we avoid spamming our customers?
Yeah. So, first of all, if you are creating automations through Omnisend default templates, you'll have exit conditions automatically. For example, abandoned cart will have whenever a customer starts checkout or purchase the product, which means it's not going to get your customer is not going to get abandoned checkout flow. Vice versa, it's going to be for all of the flows. We have you covered in most bases, but also we have a certain feature in the automations that you'll find when you click on the trigger and you scroll down. You'll see that you can add delays, or also you can exclude customers from entering certain automations. So if you have customer entered product flow and you don't want them to enter thank you flow, for example, or upsell flow or welcome flow, you can select a time frame and you can select the automations that they should be excluded from. This can really help from avoiding oversending to the customers. The second option would be, and you can use both for the manual campaigns, because we're only covering automations right now. If you have segments for the customers, if they're going through the welcome flow, you take all the subscribers and date of addition in the last 7 days, for example, and you exclude these from any of communication that you're sending to the email campaigns, unless it's very important, unless it's a sale that's quarterly sale. You have to think about the content. If they will get more content than they should deserve, let's not do that. Some of the welcome flows are very lengthy. Some of my clients have 10 to 20 emails throughout like 3 to 6 months. So every situation is different, but keep in mind that segments and also automation allows you to avoid these scenarios.
Fantastic. And if anyone needs help setting it up, because I know it can be a little bit stressful sometimes, you can contact our customer support. They're available 24/7. They'll help and guide you throughout these setups as well. So don't be shy. We're here to help. Alrighty. Margaret, thank you so much for being here again and guiding us through all the setups and the checklists. Thank you so much.
No problem, Maya. It was a pleasure as always.
Amazing. Thank you everyone for being here today. You will receive the slides in a couple of days. We will include all the resources shared throughout. So keep an eye on your inboxes and we'll see you again soon. Bye.